In our next problem, they want us to solve the equation below graphically and, if necessary, to write our answer in simplest radical form. All right, so I'm going to try to figure out what the value of x is in this equation. Negative 7 plus 3x squared equals 77. Just like any equation, I've got to try to isolate this variable. So I'm going to start by trying to isolate the entire variable term first, which means I'm going to add 7 to each side. And when I add 7 to each side, I get 3x is equal to 84. All right, and now what I'm going to have to do is get the value of 1x squared instead of 3x squared. So I'm going to divide each side by 3. All right, and that's going to leave me with x squared equal to 84 divided by 3, which is 28. And now to get the value of x, I'm going to have to take the square root on each side. The square root of x squared is x, and it's equal to whatever the square root of 28 is. Now, the square root of 28 is going to give me an irrational number because 28 is not a perfect square. If I were to have my calculator here and punch in the square root of 28, you'll see that I'm going to get a decimal that doesn't terminate or repeat. Now, this is just a calculator approximation because, again, this decimal goes on forever. I want to know what's the exact value of the square root of 28, which means I'm going to write it in simplest radical form. So I'm not going to write out this decimal here. I'm going to take the square root of 28 and see how I can simplify it. What perfect square is a factor of 28? Well, 28 is the same as 4 times 7. And so if I do the square root of 28, that's the same as doing the square root of 4 times 7. And the square root of 4 times 7, I can break up into the square root of 4 times the square root of 7. And then when I evaluate the square root of 4, that's positive or negative 2 times the square root of 7. So our answer here, x is equal to positive or negative 2 radical 7. There's our answer, and it's written in simplest radical form. All right, so we had just solved this equation, 139 equals 8y squared minus 5, and we had two answers. We had positive or negative 3 radical 2. So there's two answers to this equation, and right now in my answer spot, I only see a place for one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click this plus sign right here, and now it breaks it up so that I have two different answers. And now I'm just going to type in what my two answers were. So one of them was positive 3 times the square root of 2. So I just type in 3 and then hit that square root button and put 2 underneath of that. The other one was negative 3 times the square root of 2. And it doesn't matter if you put the positive one first or the negative one first. You just have to enter in both of the answers. And then we can go ahead and submit. And there we have it. Okay, we have successfully entered in our answers to this problem.